Josh, if you're listening
Well,
to
then
this,
get the house.
if you're listening to this, Josh, bring gloves. That's all I got to say.
I can bring boxing gloves.
Bring them. I'm fighting him.
Okay, I'll bring them.
We're going to fight. Welcome to Whiskey and Whitetails episode number 43. Today is September the 18th. We are your hosts. I'm Matt.
I'm Gus.
And as always, you can see us on YouTube and anywhere podcasts are available.
Yes.
If you've not been over to YouTube yet, give us some views, give us some likes, give us some comments. Let us know what you like and what you don't. Gus, how can these fine people save 20%?
By using code podcast?
Yeah, that would be the one.
Yes.
So anything you want to buy, you can use code
Anything.
podcast and get 20% off.
We also have a Halloween related thing going on. You can use code SPOOKY.
Yeah.
For 20% off also.
Yeah, there you go. And this will be next episode will be the one where we raise our prices. So.
Oh yeah, because, well.
Winter's coming.
Winter's coming. The shopping rush comes. It's just supply and demand.
We also do bulk discounts for bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, Christmas corporate gifts.
Yeah.
And that's another reason that because a lot of people resell our stuff during the winter. So we bring the MSRP price up, but 20% off will still work. Mm-hmm. And it'll get you down about where you're at now. Correct.
So check it out and share with your friends.
Yeah. You can also go over to Patreon and help us out. And for as low as $3 a month, you could join and get access to early entertainment as well as behind the scenes stuff. And we just randomly ship stuff sometimes, which one of the things you get for free is our whiskey and cheese class, which we've talked about before.
Yep.
That we have another class starting 2 days from now. So you get classes like that for free. Well, I mean, obviously you pay your entry fee.
Well, you pay your entry fee, but you also get, the ability to give some feedback and dictate a little bit about what we do. For example, we have a Halloween episode we're going to be planning, or we are planning, and the Patreon folks voted on us dressing up.
Yep.
And so we both have different personas that we're taking on for that episode, which should be interesting because I'm not telling Matt anything that I'm doing. He knows the character type, but I'm not telling him anything I'm doing for it.
No.
And so I don't know how much time you spent on a college campus, but I'm gonna give you as much.
Don't ruin it.
I'm not.
All right.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna say anything. You know what I'm gonna be, but you're not ready.
I'm probably not ready. Since you told me, I'm actually nervous about the podcast being difficult to deal with you.
It's gonna be rough.
Thanks.
I'm not gonna do it sober either, so I have to come in here and get in character a little early. You also get access to our Patreon or our Discord chat, which right now, screen name Munkle coming in talking about some deer hunting. We talked about a little bit like that last night. Mm-hmm. But you get all that stuff, and you don't have to hear the next part, which is kind of shame for you because the next part's really good. But this episode is brought to you by... You go first.
Me?
I'll go first. Okay. This episode is brought to you by Gun Monkeys Armory. It's located in La Plata, Maryland, which... may not matter to you, but do you know what does matter to you? That you can go to shop.gmarmory.com and you can use code whiskey and you will get $30 off your purchase.
And they have
they have a huge
shit
selection
ton of stuff.
Firearms and firearm accessories and ammo. I actually talked to somebody yesterday about some, I'm going to say it again incorrectly, 6.5 Creedmoor that they're trying to get for them. And you know how hard it's been for us to find that. So yeah, head over to shop.gmarmory.com. You can also check them out on YouTube. Gun Monkeys Nation, Facebook, Instagram, all the places.
That's right.
Your turn.
Well, this episode is also brought to you by Dom Gatto Photography.
Yes.
Dom Gatto is a good friend of ours, takes phenomenal photos of wildlife, especially white-tailed deer, and he has a great website you can go check out, domgattophoto.com, and you can use code whiskey to get 20% off of his fantastic photography, which... for that kind of work, art, getting 20% off is a big deal because he puts a lot of time, a lot of hours into that work. And it's really good stuff. He's donated several pieces. They do really well at the live auctions we do. So go check him out. Fellow hunter, loves whiskey as well, does some great work.
You can also cheat and go talk to these guys on our Patreon because they're both now Patreon members. So that is cool. They're part of the executive producer tier, and I just shipped shirts out for them.
Yep.
As well as our Buck and Bond or rye, whichever I decided to give them.
Yep.
Which all that stuff should be arriving shortly. It's definitely out by the time you get this podcast.
Yeah.
But so this episode is powered by, I had to go write all this down. So this was given to us by Monster Whitetails, which is also a Patreon member. Actually, the next 3 episodes are bottles that he has sent us. So this is the Lee W. Sinclair. This is a 4-grain corn, wheat, oats, barley. And I didn't want to get it wrong. So the mash bill is 6% corn, 17% wheat, 13% oats, 10% caramel malt. But it is fermented 85 to 90 degrees for 4 days using 2 distinct yeast varieties. The first yeast pulls the grain profile. The second yeast pulls out the fruity, nutty esters for distillation, which we have done an episode on that. The oats add a creamy mouthfeel to the profile, sweet aroma, while caramel malt, which is typically used for brewing, adds a layer of sweetened aroma over the base of the grains. And I wanted to write all that down because I didn't want to screw it up. But it is 107.3 proof. It's normally 100 proof, but this is a store pick from Lake Liquors, and this looks like it's a 2016 bottle. So he either gave us something special that we're not aware of, or it's been sitting on a shelf for a while, and he was like, I don't want to drink this anymore.
Before some dickhead slides in the comments, is it Easters or Esters?
It's Esters.
Esther. Okay.
Did I say Easter?
You said Easters.
Again?
It's okay.
It's Easter
I'm
Island.
just going to correct our.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Esters. I did it last time too.
That's why I brought it up because I didn't know if you were doing it on purpose because you've done it once before.
Yeah, no, I meant Esters. I think of Easter Island when I read it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. But he sent us a note too, and it says, Matt sent over a few because you are, well, the man. So appreciate it.
Awesome.
But the first one is Lee W. Sinclair 4-grain because I know how much you enjoy 4 grains. He said, I love this juice. One of the best pours out there. He has doctor handwriting, so that's either $5 or $45 or $105. I don't know. I can't tell the
Probably
number.
45.
No idea. That was all I had need for this thing. So I'm going to put this away now.
Nice.
Okay. So let's get this bottle popped.
Ooh. Had a little,
yeah. That's an applause.
that like a follow on.
Yeah, that was very good. Very good pop.
If you're a member of our Patreon, you can also submit requests for sound effects and maybe we'll throw them on the board.
No, we'll definitely throw them on the board.
If you're not a member of the Patreon, you can still submit requests, but they probably won't go on the board.
We also, for those of you that DM us on Instagram, you've noticed that our responses have been dwindling. We cannot keep up with it any longer. So Patreon is how you talk to us.
Yeah, we're keeping up the best we can, trying to comment, it's
usually comments. We'll go through and try and say something back to comments because we appreciate the interaction and we're not trying to be snobs about it. We both have full-time jobs and a life and everything else, and it's hard to do.
What I end up having to do, and I'm sure you're the same way, is whether I'm on the toilet or in between meetings or whatever it is, I'll get on and I'll do a blitz and try to comment and like some things and then respond later.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, we're trying.
Because it's not just Instagram, it's Twitter, it's Facebook, it's all the things, and each one, it just takes time.
We said a long time ago we were going to hire somebody to do it, but
eventually we will.
Well, what we've learned is like right now it's tough because no one can do what we do, you know?
Well, we have a personality. Like it's not just a brand that's a thing. It's based heavily on who we are.
Yeah.
And it's hard for someone else to replicate that. And
to find a whiskey drinker that's also an avid hunter and into conservation and into teaching and history and all the stuff that we try to do here, to find somebody like that to work for the price we could afford.
Yeah. So if we're going to find something in the business to free up time and hire someone to do, I don't think that's going to be the thing.
Nah, probably not. All right. Mm-hmm.
I did it again where I sniffed just the microphone and had the whiskey over here.
Well, you can actually burn your nostrils out. If you used to do that, it can scrub your palate.
Don't talk dirty to me. Palate. 4 grains.
Olfactory. Definitely a lot of that grain. Ton of grain. Which it says, I just now read it, it says, respect the grain.
Yeah, well.
They did do that. It's double pot stilled as well, not triple. And this is by French Lick, by the way. Spirits of French Lick. And they have the Boy Scouts emblem.
What is this, 107.3 proof?
Yeah, drinks a little hotter than that.
Drinks more like a 107.7 maybe.
7.4, I was thinking.
Yeah, it's around there. The one I mentioned earlier that was young that I drank last night drinks way hotter than what it is.
Is it an ice cube whiskey?
That one might be, actually. I haven't tried it with anything else. I drink it straight.
What proof is that?
It's 100.
Oh boy!
But it was like I had to go back and look at the bottle.
Well, when I got it, I looked through it and I was like, this is kind of clear, or not? Yeah.
Yep. Well, the bottle is clear, and then you pour it in, and I picked it up, and I was like, oh my, this is young.
Yeah, the stuff that we make in mason jars is older than that. Looks older.
Yeah, I guess so.
But so I do enjoy this, and I do love 4-grain because of all the flavors. I got to learn what I'm not afraid to not know something, but I got to learn what caramel malt means.
So I was going to ask if you knew, and also ask because the primary grains that you see most often are obviously corn, barley, rye, and wheat.
Right.
But I saw that picture of that bottle that I sent you was a 6-grain. I was trying to figure out what the other 2 grains would be.
So they use like the awaken.
Oh, that's right.
There's a lot of different things you could use.
I guess so.
There's a ton of different grains, but the majority are going to be rye, corn, malted barley, and then they get into oats because High West does that.
Oh, that oats! I forgot about oats. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So caramel malts, as the name implies, impart a strong caramel flavor to beer, which it did say something about beer.
Okay.
Which is the result of an extra stewing process that takes place during malting, usually in a roasting drum between germination and kilning. So it's a process of how they do it.
Very nerdy.
Historically, caramel malts were produced from green malt and kiln covered with tarpaulin. I don't know what that is. So, I guess it's a process of malting.
Well, the other thing about that whiskey last night is I swirled it around to look at the legs, and there were no legs. It just created a line. It just stayed there. Didn't move or run at all. It's really, I don't know. It was an odd drink. You should pop it.
I'm going to. I like the company, I like the guy, but I'm very picky on the products from there. Which is a reason the ones that are like, those are the ones we like. Yeah. They're always sold out.
Well,
Can you guess who we're talking about?
So awesome personality, right?
Yeah, great personality.
Cool
very
brand.
active on Instagram.
Cool brand.
Wears cowboy hats.
Well, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't mind.
But I think sometimes, and he's not the only one.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to keep up with demand, and so they're being forced to put out some younger stuff. Yeah. And it is what it is.
Yeah. Not bad. But Uncut Unfiltered is really good.
Yeah, it is. If you haven't figured it out now, then, well.
And again, I haven't had it, so that's Gus's opinion, and I'm not a fanboy, so.
Yeah.
It does play a large role in the next Bourbon Hunter, which, you know what I figured out is when, this is going to sound really bad, when, like, Dave Chappelle was like, I just left, I couldn't handle the pressure anymore. Dude, Bourbon Hunter 2, I'm like, part of me is like, just let it go. Can't handle the pressure to be better. I couldn't imagine being someone like Dave Chappelle where you have to, like, seasons upon seasons, and then the design, like, you have to keep topping it because you don't want someone to be like, man, first episode was better. No,
you don't. But also, you went into the first episode not really having any expectation. You just had fun and did it. So that's what you just need to do again.
Well, I've been writing it.
You got to get out of your own head. Did you write the first one?
No.
See? Don't write it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right.
I was going to film some yesterday while hunting, but didn't.
How'd that hunt go?
So, I mean,
that was your new spot, right?
Yeah, the new spot. So I hunted opening day there, and then I haven't been back.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we haven't really been in town, and it's also been too hot.
Oh, it's so hot.
But I walked out there, and mosquitoes were just still stuck. I mean, it's all swamp, you know?
Yeah. They don't go away, by the way. Like, until it freezes.
Yeah, they're out.
They're out.
And then you have one warm day, and they're all back.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what they do or where they hide.
I don't know. Maybe they just go dormant. But the other thing about that stand, too, is the amount of, like, scary-looking spiders. Like, the large, scary-looking spider. Not the ones, not like the banana spider. I'm not worried about those. But, like, the ones that don't get into the trees, they stay on the ground. Oh, so as I'm walking, looking for snakes, and then I see, like, back legs and butt go into a hole. And I'm like,
you're just giving me chills, man.
Like, I'm worried about them coming up the tree, and I don't have a backrest on that.
Oh, so they do.
By the way. I know.
Yeah. So one of my favorite near-death experiences while hunting, I'll call it near-death experience. It was like I was 4 feet up, and I was just like, fuck it. And I just let go and hopped off. I was climbing up some ladder sticks, and I went to adjust my lifeline.
Yeah.
So you slide that up, and then went to place my hand on the next spot, and there's a giant, like, I don't know, like maybe it's a wolf spider or whatever it is that lives in these trees, and it's like the same color as the bark.
Yeah.
And they're about this big, but when they get on the tree, they find a nook.
And they squeeze their little legs
and
in there.
And they get real long. And dude, this thing is best, swear to God, it felt like it was as big as my face, and it was furry, and I just like, nope. I just,
bye.
I ended up finding a stick, I threw it, and I saw it scurry off, and then I hurried up the ladder.
What's wild, dude, is like I'm not scared of snakes, but I know a lot of people are. Snakes don't bother me because they just don't. But the spider thing, I don't care what kind of spider it is. I immediately have this little reaction.
But neither of them really bother me as long as I see them first.
Yeah.
But when you surprise me within inches of my face,
I just don't like it.
I just don't like it either.
But like Andy, like jumping spiders,
Yeah.
she gets all excited. She's like, "Oh, it's a little jumpy boy."
I'll play with those.
Yeah,
The
and like
kids
I'll,
like them.
Yeah, I'll push on, like not touch them, but just kind of move towards them. But they get any bigger than that. Like Daddy Long Legs, I used to play with them as a kid. I don't know what happened. Something happened.
Yeah.
But somewhere along my life, it's like my body's like, mm-mm.
Yeah, no more.
I don't know why. Most of them aren't even poisonous. You know, and I had that one that bit me. That
Yeah.
I have a permanent scar there now.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's like all the way down.
Oh, nice.
But the hunt went.
Well.
Yeah, I saw, which is a new spot. So I have trail cameras out. Here's one thing I've learned. Trail camera topic. One thing I've learned is that because I buy these cheap cameras, they make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So these are tree stand thoughts yesterday. When I was watching the footage from when I put them out just to see if there's deer there, every single time the deer's like looking at the camera.
Yeah, in the direction.
I was like, I know they can hear it, you know? So then I started thinking about the episode that we did that I haven't finished yet about remembering scent.
Yeah.
Which will be out by the time this video's out. Maybe I'll link it or something. But I was thinking if a deer goes to a stand and there's a trail camera there and it makes noise and they hear that sound, they're like, okay, here's a sound that I'm unfamiliar with. And then they keep going back. And then one day they come out there and then like mom gets shot or a hunter comes out of the tree too early and scares them off. I wonder if they associate that sound with danger.
Yeah.
Because of the conversation that we had. So I was sitting there thinking about it and I watched this little doe, which after coming back from Kentucky, I couldn't tell what size it was. I'm like looking at it and I'm like, looks small, but we're not in Kentucky. There's no horses here, you know? So I'm like really trying to look at it. And what I always do is look at the rib cage. Because the rib cage is just keep going for some reason. And it was kind of slicked back. And I was like, yeah, it's got to be like a little baby doe. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at it and it didn't go anywhere near the trail cameras. It went to the corn that's not on camera.
Okay.
Like almost like it knew if it goes over here, this thing makes a noise. If I go over here, it don't.
Interesting.
It doesn't. And so I watched it do that and then it winded me and it did the whole loop thing. And it got right underneath my stand and it's dark now. But I can see it and I could see its ears like, and it looked right up at me and took off.
Oh, man.
I'm like, but in all fairness, when I put my hunting clothes on last night, I could smell that I hadn't washed them since Kentucky.
Oh, bummer.
So, a bunch of mistakes were made, but I had time. I was trying to get out there and hunt.
Yeah, it's not like it's just 15 minutes up the road to some property.
45 minutes.
It's a 45 minute to an hour jaunt for you.
Which during work, to leave work at 3:30 and
it's getting ready to get worse when the time changes because by the time we get done with work, we've got 3.5, maybe 4 hours of light left. It becomes a real pain in the rear to get out there. But
what do you think about this?
I like it actually.
I like it a lot. I'm gonna have another.
Yeah, thanks for sending it.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. You the man. Kyle is the man. And if you like looking at Monster Whitetails, you can go to his Instagram page, Monster Whitetails. He's got one of those pages where like people duplicate it. So his is like _ Monster Whitetails _ but then there's people that have Monster _ Whitetails,
And like try to steal his pictures and replicate it, yeah.
But he doesn't care. He's like, I don't get it. He's a cool dude. He we do like a little bottles back and forth sometimes, so.
Cool.
Was there something else about hunting? Oh yeah, a blackhawk. I could see it with my eyeballs. Plus I know what they sound like. Came over the treetops and it sat. Like if I was in my other stand, I would have been able to see it. It was just sitting over the swamp, and I recorded some of it.
It was probably doing something with the airport over there.
Dude, it just pissed me off because I'm like, right now, right at last light, you have to do this.
I'm sure those deer are used to it though. The airport, that little airport's right there.
But like, it didn't sound that loud on my phone, but dude, it was loud.
Yeah.
It was loud enough that I was like, ooh, well, like when it would turn and the rotors would start chopping.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fun.
it was irritating. Yeah, the airport being right there.
Is anybody else out there hunting?
No.
Really?
One guy left his chip on the board, and I texted him, and he was like, no, I'm not there. Like,
Who was it?
Mark.
Oh, okay.
He signed out. I just didn't notice because the sign-out sheet was... Anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. I was going to talk about something. We'll talk about it later. It's not really appropriate for the pod.
Oh, okay. Great. Quit calling it that.
I just do it because it annoys me.
So
it's funny that people
I think
say
this is something that we should definitely bring up. So podcast is a word that means podcast, right? So the guy that invented it, his name's Adam Curry, and he has his own podcast. He's had many, but now he's inventing a new version of podcast. Anyway, so he was playing a clip where somebody was like, yeah, I want to check you out on the pod. And he had a meltdown, was like, that's not what it's called. I invented it. It's my word. So the guy that invented it said, stop calling it pods. It's a podcast.
Okay, well.
I know you're saying it
I'll
in
remember
jest.
that for the next episode of the pod.
Okay. Appreciate it.
The thing is I'd never heard it called that ever until you brought it up and someone else, and you were like, this guy just told me he wants to do a pod sometime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a what? Like a jewel pod? Or like, what do you...
Jewel pod? Yeah, I want to do a jewel pod sometime.
Like, what are you talking about? Well, that's what I'm saying, is that of all the things that came to mind, a podcast was not it.
No. So how about your hunting? What have you been doing?
Not a whole lot. Been really busy with work and keeping up with
The Kardashians?
the stuff, and the Kardashians. Got to keep up with those
Yep.
crazy folks.
I was wondering where that was going to go.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't have anywhere for it to go. The only thing, so I did want to sort of, for our folks that listen and follow along, we did an article and a video where we talked about early season stuff, and it's getting to be the middle part of the year where the rut's getting ready to start kicking off. So we'll have another video coming out where we'll talk a little bit about some strategies and some ways to approach this time of the year. Basically what it boils down to, one of the key things is, believe it or not, we focused heavily on targeting food early in the year. Big surprise, deer eat in October also, and November.
Who would have thought?
So, but it just, the type of food changes a little bit, so we'll key in a little bit on that as well as their behavior as they get into the rut. But something to keep an eye out for.
Yep, that's coming. That sounds good.
We also we got some big things coming up this week and next week, right?
Yeah, Thursday we have a tasting class. It's with like some executives of a, I don't want to really say that.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's with some executives of a company. They are doing, I think it's like a corporate,
Cool.
Here you go deal.
So is this going to be like a big, like how many people?
11.
Oh, okay. So still about the same size.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't like to get more than 12 because 12 people, I can split a bottle, like three, if we do 3 bottles, one bottle will do 12 people. Mm-hmm. Where if you get over that, it gets into, we don't buy the bottles, we don't have a liquor license, but the place that puts it on, they have to buy more bottles.
Gotcha.
And it's, then you might as well double it. And then 24, that's too many people to be like, listen to me talk.
No, it gets crazy.
Yeah. But we're doing that, and then we have Snipers Unknown coming up, which we're doing. So Ortiz called me yesterday about food. So we're doing Friday night. We're doing a whiskey class, not a class, just a whiskey. We're doing a bottle share.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So everybody brings a bottle.
Put it on the
never
table.
done one before, and you drink. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of the American history stuff, the song, and probably the bottle and bond deal. And then maybe just go over some quick bourbon terms, but I don't plan on going more than 30 minutes. And then we'll just kind of hang out, but it's from 6 to 10. And we talked about food, and I was like, let's do some Wagyu beef, bro.
Cool.
And he said, he was like, because he's Guatemalan, he was like, steak, carne asada, let's do tacos. So we're having tacos. So tacos and whiskey will be, that's going to be a good night. Yeah, it's going to be a good night.
Yeah.
And so after that,
I've been putting together some stuff for the whiskey class. I haven't really been telling you about it. To add and supplement when the audience is appropriate, but it's all outdoor hunting related. So I've been doing research and finding huge figures throughout outdoors type history that were also tightly ingrained
Are you trying to put
and whiskey.
whitetails into my whiskey class?
Trying to, make it somewhat relevant. But
What a strange idea.
Right? Yeah, I know. Daniel Boone, though. Actually, I can't remember if it's Daniel Boone or Davy Crockett. One of them.
Here we go.
One of them has a tie to Jim Beam, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe
So
it.
some cool stuff like that.
I think it is Johnny Appleseed.
Sure, maybe. He started out with apple cider, didn't go well, figured out corn works better. And
So you know, Johnny Appleseed was actually a drunk, and he was making cider.
Was he?
Yeah. It's a true story. He was
not know
planting apples to make cider. Yeah.
Nice. Good for him.
Yeah.
Proud
He's
of him.
Spreading the seeds.
My man.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be good. I think that'll be fun for some of the hunt club stuff.
Yeah. That's more what it's for.
Yeah.
I want to have some things like that we can supplement for the right, and then also put together something we could probably work together on pairing meat for when we have an opportunity to do a culinary type pairing with some either wild game. The thing is we get into a tough spot, just like with a liquor license, with serving food and not having.
Yeah.
So we may have to do pre-prepared things and work with someone, a sponsor, someone to get some or do our own jerkies, smoked food, whatever, something like that. Something
I think
that's
at a hunt
pre-prepared.
club we could probably get away with some of it.
Yeah. I would agree.
Definitely can't sell tickets to it.
No, wouldn't be able to. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Workarounds, man.
Yeah. There's a way to do everything if you want to do it hard enough.
Pattern. Yep, that's it.
There was something else. I heard this on another pod, and they were talking and I just found it interesting. They were talking about, this is totally off topic, but I feel like I have to say it because it was so cool. Snakes. So they were talking about poisonous snakes, specifically the ones that rattle. And so what we as humans are doing to the evolution of those snakes.
What?
So when a snake rattles and you hear it and you're like, holy shit, rattlesnake, and you kill it.
Oh no.
But think about the ones you walk by that don't rattle.
Yeah, they're
So
learned.
we're getting rid of the ones that rattle and the ones that don't rattle. So eventually we'll have a bunch of diamondbacks rolling around that don't rattle.
Smart fuckers.
Yeah.
We're all idiots.
Yep. I was like, And then I started thinking.
They gave us an alarm and we fucked up.
Yeah, we started killing them. Yeah.
Never thought about that. That's
I haven't either. That's why
very
when you
clever.
said it, I was like, that needs to be shared. I don't know that. I mean, it's worth thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a huge fan of killing snakes anyways.
Yeah,
The only time I've killed a snake in recent years is when I've found them around my kids' playing areas.
At your house.
In my front yard and the bush and stuff like that. But I normally just let them go about their business.
We've always had the thing of if they're at a gate, like an entryway, like not a road, but like a gate where you get out and there's one just chilling there. But no more.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll mess with them because they will just go away if you throw something at them.
Oh, for sure.
And if
I go away if you throw something at me.
Yeah, for sure. And I used to own snakes, and I've always liked them. They were always cool little pets.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they weren't poisonous, but
We took the kids to Cypress Gardens.
yeah.
And they have like the little serpentarium area with all kinds of fish fish aren't serpents, but like it's an aquarium, and then they got amphibians and all that kind of stuff.
I've been there.
They have a humongous cottonmouth in there.
Yeah.
That the body, I swear to you, is as big around as this bottle.
It's in that little red light room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge. I don't think I've ever seen one in person that big before. It's probably because it's well fed. Yeah. But man, I was showing the kids that, and then the copperhead. The copperhead's really old too. It's like white almost in color.
Yeah.
But I was showing the kids and explaining like how you identify the difference, and then I was explaining how a rattlesnake what some of the features, because they don't have one there, but then explaining that they rattle.
Right.
I lied to my kids. Now they don't rattle anymore.
I mean, I'm sure some of them still do.
I'm sure they do too.
But we're killing off the ones for sure.
It's crazy, man. I'd never considered that.
I hadn't either. It's not something that I would have ever even thought about until he said it, and I was like, that's actually genius because you don't even consider rattlesnakes that don't rattle, but they're
they're certainly there. Yeah, absolutely.
But
you just assume that they're not rattling because they don't feel threatened. But the fact is that they've evolved to
realize
potentially not rattle because it gets me killed.
Because their dad didn't rattle, and he survived, and his dad didn't rattle. And then the ones
crazy.
It was a fascinating thought that I wasn't sure how much relevance it had to anything, but it was definitely interesting to me.
If it's interesting to you, it's interesting to me.
Well, there's a lot
Usually.
of stuff. Sit down.
Usually. Buckle up, folks.
Yeah, it's going to get rough. So halfway through, what do you think now?
Still like it.
I do too. The grain is very, very prominent. But that's one of the things that I like about 4 grains is they typically spend a little more time in making it worth it, you know? Because if it's 4 grain and it's all corn, it's like, what was the point?
Yeah.
So a 4 grain is going to have, to me, a lot more flavor. Just makes more sense. Do we want to go back to Kentucky this year?
I think I don't think it's so much a question of if we want to, it's if we have time to.
Yeah, can we do it?
Because I mean, holiday stuff aside, in terms of how busy we're about to get, we got family vacations and trips and things, and it's just
True.
Weekends are filling up quick.
That they are.
So if we did, we'd have to take some time off and go like during a week, and then that sucks because
because you're taking time off.
Taking time off. I'm leaving Jessica to deal with the kids and school and all the commuting to all to herself. It's a pain, man.
I don't know how much time off I have left, to be honest. I think I've pretty much burned through it all.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
it'd be fun
I want to say keep that saved so we can take some time off during Christmas. Or if we get to a point where we're so busy, like I have to take time off.
Which we've done before.
Yeah, we have for sure.
And I also talked to Caleb last night about doing a podcast, and he's all about it. Once he moves, he's still moving. It's been like a month.
Really?
Yeah, so he's driving from Orangeburg to Charleston every day.
Gross.
Yeah. Not interested. Feel bad for him.
Hard pass.
Yeah. Let's see, what else is going on?
Do we want to share the updates we made to the site?
Yeah, why not?
Slim things down a little bit. So,
didn't we already talk about this?
I don't know if we did.
No, we couldn't have because the last 2 episodes were...
Yeah, I can't remember if we did or not. Here's the gist of it. We're continuing to make most of the things we have the whole time, but to give us the ability to continue to make our most popular products and keep them in stock, and also maintain our sanity, we've taken some products off the website. We're still selling them locally at the market.
Yes.
If it's something that you're listening to this, you've seen before, and you're really hard set on purchasing, hit us up. We'll make it happen. But we get so bogged down and busy with our smoker kits and with our cigar stuff and our calls during this time of year, and then
video recording and like all the events we do and the classes and the this and that.
Right.
Like, I mean, everybody everybody that is into the show, like you all know how busy our lives are. So we're dialing it back. We're not going to do as much as we were doing. We're still going to, if you want some of that stuff, we can whip you one up.
Sure.
But we're not going to advertise it anymore. We just can't keep up with that many products.
Yeah,
just
it's just easy.
Just the 2 of us.
we felt it was better to be able to provide a consistent product that is constantly in stock.
Yeah.
And focusing on making those always available, and then still having bandwidth to put the attention we need on other things, than trying to spread ourselves so thin, keeping up with so many different products. We have a backlog of ideas and things that eventually we'll get around to.
Well, we used to make a lot of stuff, and the whole point of us coming into Instagram and all this stuff was like to bring all those products, and we never were able to actually do it. And we've cut a lot of stuff off. And the lamps that we had somebody making lamps for us.
Yeah. I
mean, there's just a ton of stuff.
We have ideas for shelves and for pieces of furniture, and maybe at a different time when we have more space and we have the logistics to have a space with a loading dock where we can ship things in bulk easier. It's just right now logistically it's just not feasible.
We run out of stock on something because we're making something else, and then when we stop making that and go to make that, we run out of stock on that, and it's too much. It's constant.
Yeah.
So
it's actually helped me tremendously. I've been able to streamline some of the stuff in my work area.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll be able to do the same with the stuff that you're doing.
Well, think about the boxes we don't have to buy anymore to fit some of the bigger pieces.
Yeah.
All the boxes are now smaller.
Shipping stuff, yeah, for
we
sure.
can buy in bigger bulk now instead of, because before we were kind of buying what we need when we need it, but now that it's like, this is all we need.
And the one thing is it's sometimes you have to take a step back a little bit and realize that you're doing a lot of things, but you're doing a lot of things at about 80% of the quality that you could do. And if you would just take a step back, trim it down, you'd be able to do those things 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just I think it's just going to be better all around. And I've already focusing on just the products that we've kind of dialed into, I've already started to identify some things because I'm spending more time on those ways to make them more efficiently and speed up how quickly I'm able to make some of them. So it's just better all the way around.
And if you don't know the corporate structure, the podcast thing is like the passion project. It's the gateway to the future. The YouTube, it's always been the plan. So our YouTube content's going to go up. The product side of it is kind of how we pay for all this, how we finance, the things that we do.
Yeah.
Other than the studio. The studio is all Patreon. So
yeah. I think of it like a Western city. In order to get a Western city built, you had to build a railroad, right? And so our products are the railroad, right? And it's consistent.
It's the backbone.
It's constant. Sure. It's the backbone, and I think they will always be there, and maybe expand a little bit to accommodate some bigger trains.
Yeah.
But we're building around that, and that's where the empire will be built around.
So if you don't want to support the Patreon, you can definitely go buy presents for your family.
That's right.
And that.
Use code podcast for 20% off.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what is helping. But the video content's about to go up. Gus and I both have always been like, well, if we're going to do this, but we're not going to do this like clickbaity, annoying thing. I mean, we're trying to do you a solid, but turns out we don't really have a choice. So
some of the things that you're going to see that are like, oh, that's very YouTube-y.
Yeah.
That's because that's the way YouTube works.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you work at Walmart, you got to wear a Walmart apron.
The only way
we're going to be on YouTube, we got to fit this.
The only way we can play the game, and what I mean by that is play to these social media platforms, algorithms, and the things that they require to get our stuff in front of the people we want to get in front of, is we have to play their game. And their game involves, depending on the platform, annoying hashtags or annoying clickbaity type things.
For 6 months, we've been asking you to share, like, and subscribe, and you're not. So we're going to do it ourselves.
Yep.
We're going to go find people that will.
Fine.
Yeah. No, we appreciate you being here. We're joking around. For that. We understand that you're busy as well. But, the content will be the same, if not better. It's just like thumbnails are going to become clickbaity. Titles, this is the best whiskey under $34.85, and then eyes bulging out of my face. And it's what you got to do.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah. It won't change anything. It's probably going to be better because we're going to spend more time on some of it. But the other thing I learned is doing some of the algorithm stuff that you look at on YouTube. When you do the targeting keywords and titles and all the stuff, it actually gives you more ideas for content, because underneath you'll be like, that's not what this is, but that's a good idea. Yes. And so because
it starts to link what people are searching and what's related to that. Well, if people that looked for this were also looking for this, and you're like, oh, well, I could touch on that, or I can touch on this. There's you're talking about YouTube specifically?
Yeah.
So there's another Google, and there's another one, but they have some sort of back end website you can access for searching keywords, and you can actually look at search trends and see
what's trending,
specific topics, what people have been searching for the most in recent days, months, in the past year, and you can.
You can project. It shows a chart of like incline, and then once it flattens out, it's like this is kind of a dead. It's
kind of a dead topic, yeah.
But it'll help us kind of gauge the type of content we should be creating, I guess. But it'll still be our stuff with our spin. Nothing's changing. The other thing was, don't remember.
Oh, the Whiskey and Whitetails mukbang videos and reaction videos.
Mukbang reaction videos. We're gonna start eating soup and noodles.
Giant plates of fast food.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna eat them with that boom mic that's really super sensitive.
Yeah, like a Donald Trump presidential dinner.
We should do
Remember when he did that?
Oh yeah, for the.
But what's funny is people got so mad. It was Donald Trump.
No,
football team? I don't remember.
I think it was the.
Everybody got so mad, but I'm like, I thought it was like that's something I would do. I thought it was funny. The government was shut down, so there was no money.
Yeah, so they hit up McDonald's.
We're not gonna have a meal, and then somebody was like, "Hey, why don't we just go get McDonald's and Taco Bell?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Donald Trump was like, "I'll pay for it. How much is it going to cost?"
Did he? I don't even know he paid
probably.
for it.
I think he
did. I bet you did.
He was like, "How much is it going to cost for this?" He was like, "I forgot those 300-pound linemen can put away some food. How about we just do Taco Bell and McDonald's?"
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, but the damn, what were we talking about? Lost it again.
I don't know. We don't really have a script for the show, folks. We're just flying off the handles.
Yeah, we're just talking smack.
Are we going to do a podcast next weekend while we're there at
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Because we're still renting that sweet setup, right?
When's our
Where are we going to shower?
It has a shower.
What are we going to eat?
It has a shower.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
There's also I got us an RV, well, a trailer to tow behind.
It's my idea, by the way.
Was it?
It was my idea, asshole.
Okay.
Admit it, fucker.
Okay.
This dude wanted to pay $500 a night for an Airbnb that was 45 minutes away when we could just party in an RV.
Yeah, but
on site.
$500 a night with the Sniper Boys, John, Phil, the SEALs coming. I refuse to call his name. Him and I. Josh, if you're listening,
Well, then
to
get the house.
if you're listening to this, Josh, bring gloves. That's all I got to say.
I can bring boxing gloves.
Bring them. I'm fighting him.
Okay, I'll bring them.
We're gonna fight. I stole his Ray-Ban sunglasses, and he got all girly or bitchy about it.
Yeah, he's a little uptight.
And I demanded trial by combat. He's a Navy SEAL, so we're gonna see how that goes. Should be fun.
His pretty hair against those dump truck hands you have.
Dude. You see how small his Glen Karen is?
I know, dude.
Yeah. So next weekend, 18th. No, so the 25th is our Halloween episode.
Yeah.
So we have to record that before we leave. And then we should do it there and just have people walk by and be like, what the fuck is going on?
With the shit I have planned, I was fully planning on not having people be able to see and having that up. So that would make it even better. No. What I'm saying is it would make it even funnier having to do it in front of people. I would have to be drunk first.
I don't know that we'll be able to get it out in time. I couldn't.
It'd be tough.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to do it. All right. Yeah, y'all are in for a treat. I have no idea what this guys is going to do, but I hope it's over the top and ridiculous. Mine won't be extremely over the top. You'll be like, I get it. Like for you, maybe. Everybody else is going to be like, what's this problem? I really cannot wait for that to be people's first. You know what we're going to do? From now on at the market, when people buy stuff, and we're always like, yeah, shit, I already did, but whatever. We're going to send them to episode 25 or 45. Start at episode 45.
And work your way back.
Yeah. And they'll be, because they'll watch it and be like, this is
what
god awful.
Yeah.
It's either going to be terrible or it's going to be funny.
I hope it's funny.
I hope it's funny. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do it either way. I don't care.
I'm prepping. I'm watching all kinds of appropriate content and movies and getting in the spirit.
Good. I cannot wait.
I'm bringing in all kinds of, not all kinds of, but I'm bringing in other alcohol. It's gonna be fun, dude. we may need to pick an evening to do this, so that and I may need to convince Jessica to and have my mom or my sister watch the kids and have Jessica drive me so that I can.
Well, let's schedule it because I'm gonna have to do the same thing.
I'm probably only gonna be able to do it next Thursday because Tuesday and Wednesdays I'm busy. I know
what we're gonna do. So the next episodes that we have coming out, next episode that we're gonna do, start talking about that clickbaity stuff. We're gonna do. It's gonna be all under $100. I think I want to do 30, 60, 99.
So tiers.
Yeah. So we're gonna do. I'm gonna pour them, but I'll do. I'll have 80, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna mix them up. So we're gonna do like 3 at 30. 3 at 60, 3 at 90, and then we're going to do the 3 and pick the best one, then do the 3, pick the best one, do the 3, and then do those 3 again and pick the best one. So we'll have a 30, 60, 90 video and a full thing under 90. And that'll be the beginning of our clickbaity videos where this is the best whiskey you can get for under $30. We're also going to do a holiday episode.
We're just hitting on keywords and titles. That's all we're doing. It is what it is.
Yeah. They'll be good videos. I mean,
nothing's changing. It's just how we have to present them and title them. We just have to
the SEO thing, or the marketing side of it.
Yeah, just gotta play the game.
It'll still just be us drinking.
Get over it.
Yeah, I bet you most people wouldn't even notice if we didn't tell them.
Probably not.
Whatever. So we should shoot those before shooting. You got something fun in there again?
I don't know if it's that or if it's from this.
Just drink it.
Oh, it might be from this. Oh, it is from this. It's just a little non-chill filtered.
Yeah. But we'll record those and then do the Halloween podcast because we'll be pretty tuned up for that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we definitely have to do it in the afternoon so nobody's here in case we get a little...
Okay.
Because I will be yelling.
Yelling? Same.
Type. It's going to be good. Y'all are in for a real treat.
It's just going to be like an hour or more of just nonsense, probably.
Yep.
Is any of it going to be whiskey or whitetails related? Because, I mean, we're taking on different personas, right? So we're just two dudes doing a podcast. We need to come up with a game plan.
It might still be whiskey and whitetails.
Okay.
Y'all let us know. You have until Thursday, the 20, what is that?
21st? First, I think.
Thursday the 21st. We will be recording our Halloween episode. So you have until Thursday, probably around 4 or 5 in the PMs, to get your ideas. Do you want us to continue with whiskey and whitetails? Do you want us to do something else? Do you want us to be like, pretend that we drive submarines?
Okay.
Whatever. Or we could just be two dudes from that thing. I know exactly. If somebody has a better idea than the one I just had, I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. Get your live reaction.
That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
Because it could be a real debate.
It could be a real debate.
Man, it's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of beeps.
And lean and I'm not even going to say anything else because
Okay.
Because the title is going to be so misleading to where we're actually going to go with that.
Yes. I know. All right, so we're going to put this right here, and if you have a better idea than this one,
we'll change it.
If not, we're going to open that in the beginning of the next episode and go from there.
That's good because, that actually takes away from some of the character like development and just allows us both to just lean into some of the things we just already know or familiar with at least.
Because this would be easy to bullet point the benefits of
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just ride point, like you make a point, I'm like, hold on, I got a point for that. And then I rebuttal. Yeah.
But my points are going to be different than what I think you think they're going to be.
So are mine. Oh boy, we cannot wait. All right, I can't wait for this to happen. This is going to be a lot of fun. It'll definitely be fun if both of our wives are here.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll have a peanut gallery laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Maybe they'll laugh. They may think it's stupid.
I may bring Gavin too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe it actually would be good information for him to know.
Very educational, folks.
You know the epic rap battles of history?
Yeah.
At the end, it's like, you decide. For which is better? Yeah. Not you and I, but which topic?
Yeah, which topic's better?
Mm-hmm. That's going to be fun. And then we're doing the market this Friday. Doing the market. Nope, nothing next weekend. Because we're going to Snipers Unknown. And then we have the market that next Friday. Mm-hmm. And then we might just crush the market for like end of October or end of November, middle to end of November through December.
I don't think we have a choice.
Yeah.
We got to.
Because if we could make...
I'm teaching... I've got Jessica training up on how to make some of the products so that in the evenings we can go in the garage after the kids go to bed and she can be working on one thing. Yeah. I can go over to tweak something or help her if I need to, but otherwise I can focus on... The smoke blocks are the most technical, the hardest to... Yeah. There's a lot of feel involved with it, but some of the other ones...
and danger.
That too. I mean, she's fine, but
it should be all right. They're only hands.
But I figured out a way to expedite some of the other ones that she can help crank out. So it'd be.
How tall is your table? Is her heart like right at where that thing would explode?
Oh yeah, so now she's definitely not picking that up anymore.
That's what I was gonna say. Because like Andy's shorter than me,
Yeah, it's true.
Because my table's higher than yours as well.
It is.
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Also leans to the left a little bit.
Yeah, it's got some gangster lean to it for sure. For sure. I think about putting wheels on it, but I need like big wheels.
Buy those big the caster wheels that they make for the big rolling carts that you actually have to put air into.
Oh yeah. Could do those. Or like the dolly wheels. Get some dolly wheels for it. That way it's cushioned.
Yeah, that's more or less what I meant.
Yeah,
the caster version that has the locking thing you push down
to
lock into place.
Is that what that means? Caster?
Mm-hmm. Caster wheels, the ones that twist and turn and then you can lock in place. Yeah, they're caster wheels.
I didn't know that was the name. Learning something every day. I taught you something, you taught me something.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you think so.
Yeah.
November's going to be crazy.
Yep. You know what I am excited about is not having to go to the post office anymore because I'll just schedule pickups every day.
Yeah. Did you already adjust the shipping time frame?
Thank you for bringing that up. We are already seeing 1 day delays from drop off. Because I usually I will just drop it off.
Isn't it ridiculous?
I don't do anything, but I'll drop it. But now I've been scanning them in, but the scanner is often broken, so I can't. But when we scan them in, it'll show that it was dropped there.
Yeah,
it's called an SSO. It was dropped there, and the post office is expecting it. But it doesn't mean that it's in. But at least gets it off my back. It shows that I delivered it the day. Because one of the things we advertise is we ship the next day. So I've already noticed. Thank you.
You do a great job.
I've already noticed a day delay. So even on some of the UPS packages, because I check them pretty often because I'm anal about it, and I also send people emails. And this is how I know I'm over the top, because I sent someone an email and said, hey, I dropped this off at the UPS store. They ship at 3:30. I dropped it off after 3:30 because I was on the way home from work.
Yeah.
So it won't ship until tomorrow. But if that's unsatisfactory, I will send you another one and I'll drop it off. You know, that was that night. I was like, I'll ship you another one. I'll drop it off tomorrow. That way it shows shipped tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nobody responded.
Really?
Because they're like, it's fine. I guess. No one said anything.
We care about our customers, man.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you this. Actually, I don't think I did, because I just sort of, I just didn't. I sent a glass, and I bought out of my own pocket a $50 gift certificate or $60 gift certificate to one of those online bottle places you can buy whiskey or liquor online.
Don't set a precedence here for wherever the story's going.
No, this was a night market thing.
Oh.
So we kind of try to demonstrate our product in the night market, and he either misunderstood or I miscommunicated that the glass does not come with the kit. And he sent a voicemail and said, hey, I didn't get a glass. He said, I'm not sure if it comes with it. I don't remember. Just wanted to ask.
Was this recent?
Mm-hmm. This was a couple weeks ago. It was definitely me. I remember the guy's name, and it was the next day after I had worked the market. And I said, hey, I don't remember either. I said, well, I generally try to make sure that I explain that it does not come with it. It's meant to fit glasses that you have at home. I said, but I'll tell you what, just for the mix-up, I'm going to send you a glass and a gift. Just trying to be nice, you know. And also didn't hear anything back.
No response.
No. What are you going to do? You never know who they are, though, right? You know, like that guy could have been a billionaire with a huge company, and that one gesture could have been what had him coming to us every holiday, you know, every Christmas for a huge order. You just never know. So be nice to everybody.
We are typically nice to people if people complain, but you have to complain the correct way, for sure.
Oh yeah, don't come at me sideways, bro.
Yeah, you come at me sideways, okay.
Especially if you come at me sideways over something that's explained multiple times. And by the way, we went through great lengths and learned a lot this year. We have.
When was the last torch question?
That's what I was going to get at. If you come at if you have a question about the torch not having butane in it, or what's the other one we got all the time? It's mostly that one.
Yeah, they didn't know how to fill it, and it's like,
yeah. So we've addressed that. I don't know how much more we can beat that into people's heads.
What we're going to do, every package comes with a little square that says, if you didn't read it, the listing states the beginning, middle, and end. It does not come with butane. So you need it because we cannot ship flammable gases. That is illegal. I'm sure you understand. Also, here's how you fill it.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. This is where you can buy it. This is where it's located in the store, typically by the register. I mean, we went through those. So
I think about a lot of things I buy, and they have instructions in them. So maybe it's something we should have done to begin with. But it's also, I thought, pretty
common sense. I thought everyone knew how to use a torch.
Maybe
I mean,
not.
Clearly not. Who am I to say that people should know anything? But I thought that was one of the things in life. Like, you know how to use a shovel. You know how to put butane in something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Apparently not. Now we know.
You know, but we fixed it. But if people come at us, I mean, you can go look at our Etsy store. There's 2 1-star reviews. Both of them were over the torch. And I've had it before, and I responded, I'm like, check out the listing. And then my bad. And they changed the review.
Yeah.
These 2 people were like, fuck you. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I went in and explained everything I just told you. And then I said, at the very end, I said, sometimes you just run into people like this that you'll never make them happy.
Yeah.
And I think people read that and they're like, oh, these guys tried. I mean, we try to make people happy because there's been times that we've done that. We've helped someone out and then they go, by the way, I would like to buy, because we just did 30 something for, or whatever, however many it was, for corporate gifts for a client. The client guy wanted to send all his clients corporate gifts. And, you know, stuff like that. But the only reason he would have known about us if we didn't hook somebody up with one of our kits and like try and market it, you know.
Sure.
But Yeah, that stuff's important. Relationships are important. Working hard is important. That's another thing. Guy I talked to the other day, local boy outfitters. I was talking to him, and he was like, my dad taught me that working hard will get you a lot of places in life, and not worrying about being tired, just get it done.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, same. Like, working hard, this has to be done. Let's get it done. Doesn't matter how much it sucks. And then networking and knowing people that have that same mentality, it will take you a long way.
Yep. My dad used to tell me that it's not anybody can work hard, and anybody can put a lot of work into something that they're motivated and they're excited about. And, you know, when they're in a good mood and they feel good, he said the thing that separates people is those who are willing to do the work when they are tired, when they're unmotivated, when they don't feel like doing it. If you can put in the work even when you're in that mental state, those are the people that set themselves apart from everybody else.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of times when I've had a long day at work. The kids have been something else, you know. Like the kids have been crazy. It's 7:30 o'clock at night. I had meant to make some products earlier in the day. Didn't happen. I really just want to sit down with a whiskey or a beer, watch some TV, and go to sleep. But that's not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah. Last night, came home and did the wife thing for like an hour. Have you ever seen the show?
Good for you, man.
You ever seen the show Major Dad?
Major Dad. No.
Dude.
Major Dad.
This show came out like in the 80s or maybe the early 90s. I don't know. I can't really tell. But it's a Marine. It's a major. And then he, like, as military people do, just wifes up this woman, just meets her and was like, marry me. You know? And she's I'm just telling the deets of the story here. Don't get excited. She's a liberal, like hardcore liberal. And he's like a Marine.
Super conservative, yeah.
Yeah. And so he just like talks shit about her being a liberal all the time. And then she talks shit about him being a conservative. And it's funny. And it's really good comedy.
Yeah.
But
is this like live people or is it a cartoon?
No, it's live people. But they have like 3 daughters, and they go through like the different ages of the daughters and like the things that are important to them.
Sure.
And then they go through, they PCS from OB, San Diego to Quantico. And they start talking about like clothes, and she's like, I need Virginia clothes. And he's like, what are Virginia clothes? And he's like, country conservatives.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And she's like, I have California clothes. I need Virginia clothes. And it's just funny because back, like, that was funny TV back then. Yeah. Anyway, so we watched some of that pretty often. But before going to bed, you know, I ran in there, started wrapping up packages, you know, because all those blocks you gave me, I got them all branded. I'm in there, you know, wrapping them up and tying them like we do. And then the bitter milk and doing inventory and making sure we have enough and before I need to order more stuff, you know, but it's like she went to bed, I'd stay up and do stuff. And that's what it takes to run a company. And a lot of people don't understand that or aren't interested in being part of it, or they just don't need to, you know. Well, but like
we've run into several people who have expressed interest in getting involved or being a part of this, and not necessarily us. What I mean is being a part of owning a business, and they've reached out and are like, hey, you know, how are you doing this? Like, how are you managing that? And we're like, like, this is what we do. And they're like, oh, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, it's too much. And because you hear about it all the time, people are like, just start a business. I heard it today. We were talking about the stuff that, you know, that I was talking about. And one of the guys was like, I think I'm just going to have to start my own business. And I was like, that's a great idea, man. It's a really good idea. Everyone should start their own business because of the tax write-off benefits, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it'd just be easier to not have to report to anyone else. And I just do my thing and make money and provide for my family. And I'm like, absolutely.
And the whole time I think, like, people say those things, and it's like, it's actually a lot easier to report to somebody else, because when you're your own boss and you can say, I'm just going to stay in bed, or I'm just not going to do that, because
when you get a letter from the IRS that says they're taking all your shit and you're like, what? They can do that? Like, we're, you know, a month delinquent, they can take all our shit. And then you call the CPA and he's like, oh, by the way, the IRS is super backed up, so they're just automatically sending letters.
The computers are seeing companies that haven't filed.
But if you didn't have a guy to call, to straighten you out, like, panic attack, you're like, I got to close the business right now. Dude. I can't, like, because, you know, the fine was, it had a lot of zeros behind it, you know?
Well, I wasn't worried about the fine. Like, it was. I
was. How are we going to pay that?
Well, no, what I'm saying is we can figure that part out. Yeah. But, like, putting, what did it say?
It was going to put your assets.
Constraints on, or something about putting constraints or limitations on your assets and your ability to access current or future assets. And
Yeah.
it was very scary wording. And then our CPA was like, don't worry about it. It's a computer.
It's not a big deal.
It's just looking at accounts and going, they haven't sent it.
But
the thing is apparently the IRS is, like you said, super backed up, and they are using COVID as an excuse to not have people handling and answering phones.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
you can't even, I tried calling them.
Yeah, no, I did too. And no one answers. It's all automated.
Oh, they answered for me, and then I
couldn't get an answer.
I didn't have your name because it was.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and they wouldn't let me have it.
I couldn't get anybody on the phone. Maybe it's just the time of day I called. It was a bad time. But then it was shortly after he sent that email, and it was like, it's automated. Don't sweat it. Just send this letter. And I was like, oh, I'm not calling again.
Yeah.
But they basically were like, he said the only way people can get anything done is by like handwriting letters and sending in paperwork. So we're like back to 1985, I guess.
So like we filed an extension because, new business.
Which, by
owners.
the way, people file extensions. It's super normal. Like, it's not an uncommon thing.
It's not like we did something no one else is doing. Everyone does it. But it's before our taxes have been very easy. But now with this, there's a lot of things involved. I mean, you see everything that we do. So we filed an extension for our CPA, needed more time to get it done. And they just didn't get the extension or the extension.
They probably got it in time along with everybody else's.
Yeah,
and it's just
postmarked in time. It just hadn't been processed.
Right.
Yeah. So it was. But it's like things like that you don't even think about when you want to start a business. And then insurance, how hard it is to get insurance. Like wait till you try to get insurance for a business.
Yeah.
And they start telling you stipulations and you're like, what? Like I'm not going to get into it, but there's some crazy stuff that it takes to be able to own and run a real business. Now, if you just have an Etsy store and just run it through your personal taxes and stuff, go for it. But I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine the people that make a living on Etsy, I would imagine that number's probably pretty small.
Yeah, and if I mean, for those that are, they must be doing huge amounts of huge volumes.
Well, I see them sometimes at the post office because like the early morning post office, that's people like us.
Yeah,
they come in, they use the drop box, but I've seen people come in with crates with little tiny envelopes.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they're not selling. It's probably $8-10 a piece or whatever, but
yeah.
Like they come in and it could just be a week. You don't know.
The smart ones are Jessica, my wife, uses these all the time. She'll buy get like birthday invitations for the kids.
Yeah,
and these designers that will design, and then they just send you like a vector file or a PDF, and then you just go get those printed, and it's $15 for the design. But they have a set number of templates. All they're doing is changing a name and a date. And doing that for you and charging $20, and they're probably sitting there doing that all day.
Hey, here's a free business idea. Take up invites on yourself. So if people like start a business, we're not going to do it. You do it. Start a business where you do this. You make a bunch of vector files, and people send in, and then you don't even send it to them. You mail it off for them. So they just pay you the thing, pay for postage stamps. They print them all out, put them in envelopes, lick them, throw stamps on them, and mail them for you. I bet you there's not a bunch of those out there.
Vistaprint does that.
They won't mail them to your people, will they?
Yes, they will.
They really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
every time I order the postcards that we pack in,
Yeah.
They're technically a postcard that I just designed to do what we want.
Yeah.
They ask me all the time, do you want us to send your postcards to your people? And you can upload in that I don't know if it's a text file or that's like comma delineated, or if it's a PDF, but you put the addresses in a specific format and upload it, and they will print it all, you pay for the postage or whatever the add-on fee is, and they send it for you.
Such a good idea. It's already been taken. So, well, there you go.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Follow us for other tips and tricks on how to start your own personal business. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
we're probably not the people to ask, to be honest.
I think our business is,
No, I think we're doing fine, but I think we're still, I have to constantly remind ourselves that we're just barely over a year in this thing.
Yeah, as far as LLC goes, yeah. And it's crazy busy. That's one of the things I've started doing now, because you can't tell who's real or who's fake on Instagram, but you can tell who posts.
Mm-hmm.
So we get like followers or people message us and be like, let's collab, bro. Yeah. And they have like 90,000 followers, and you're like, damn. And you go look at it, and you look at their pictures, 700, 800 likes. You're like, oh, this is legit. Then you look at their posts, 30 posts.
Right.
Unless you're Michael Jackson, you're not going to get that many followers and likes and only 30 posts. Definitely not.
Doesn't add up.
No. So I've started to look at that, and I've come to realize that the accounts that we look at, not look up to, that we look at, they 800, 900, posts or whatever. I don't know. I want to tell you this, and I'm going to blow it out because it's the last. If you're not a follower, you probably haven't gotten this far. So I'm going to give you a little inside edition. And I'm not going to tell you who told me this, but it's someone that's prominent in the Bermit world. So the guy told me, don't sweat. You're fine. The pages that have big time guests on them, like think big page, whiskey pages.
Okay.
Even the one.
Okay.
Even like that guy. The way they are getting their guests, these big distilleries, these personalities, these whatever, they're paying for them to come on their show.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew that. I'm pretty sure I knew that.
No, it's been verified. They're paying for these people to come to our show. Look at me. We're not ever going to do that. So if you think you're going to see someone like these bourbon personalities, if you think you're going to see any of these people or even hunters on our show, there are plenty of people out there that have something to say that will come on here for free, and those are the people we're going to talk to.
And they're interesting, and they're real, and they're just like you and I, and they don't refer to themselves as bourbon celebrities.
If you are one of those people and you have a story to tell, I think you should hit us up at info@whiskeyandwhitetails.com. We are working on the internet problem here. The reason we haven't been doing...
yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I wanted to follow on to that. We are reaching out to get a dedicated internet connection for our studio. That's going to open up the ability for us to do more podcasts with people who are remote, but also add on to what we're doing with Patreon and have some live stuff where we'll have a guest on and we'll pop a bottle. Everybody can drink and talk and chit chat, and it'd be a lot more interactive. So
we'll probably also do after the show. So we'll turn off the show and then go to Patreon after that. Yeah. But yeah, we're working on that. It's coming. Where we're at now has Wi-Fi, but it's like a shared thing, so it's really slow.
Yeah, and the building's fairly new, so as tenants fill up more of the office spaces, it's just gonna probably get worse. Yeah, so we're gonna go down. So
we're working on that. We're gonna get high-speed internet in here, and we're both computer engineers, so it's gonna be great speed internet.
Oh yeah,
we're working on building a server for ourselves for media collection. We're also working on building a computer for the live shows that will allow us to live stream off of a DSLR so we don't lose the quality.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming, and that's why we're looking forward to the next 2 months of sales, because that's where all that money's going to go into the next part of it. But yeah, that's all I had, I think. There was a lot there.
Yeah, we were all over the place, but it was good.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And we hashed out some details.
Which is always good.
Yeah. So that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Sweet. Well, thanks again for this bourbon.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle.
Whiskey, straight bourbon whiskey, Indiana straight bourbon whiskey. It was very good. I like it, and it's going to come home with me, and I'm going to drink more of it. Probably not today, but I will be drinking more of it. And thank you to the Patreon. Thank you to our current subscribers. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for everything.
You guys are awesome. Yeah. We would not be continuing to do this if it wasn't for the support you guys give us. So
yeah, the feedback mainly. Like numbers are numbers, but when people reach out and say like,
the numbers and the growth come with time. Like
kick-ass episode.
Yeah,
we're like, really? You like that?
Yeah. All right.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Makes us feel good.
Yeah.
It gives our inner Matt and Gus juice to continue on, to live another day.
What he said.
Gus, hit that button.
We're out.